everyone, long time no see. Okay, so I have big plans for the next couple of months, but we'll see how that goes. First of all, hi, if you don't know me, my name is Irit and I do art journaling, watercoloring, scrapbooking on my channel, but I am especially into watercolors at the moment and I don't think it's going anywhere, so it's probably mostly of what you'll be seeing in the next weeks, months. A couple of things I wanted to mention. If you are here for scrapbooking, make sure you subscribe to the Hip Kit Club channel, YouTube channel, because that's where I post some of my weekly videos. I have every week a new video for Hip Kit Club and some of them are posted over there. So I try to link to those videos in my own scrapbooking videos that are on this channel, but if you don't want to miss any, then make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. It has a variety of people from the design team posting there, so if you're a scrapbooker, a project lifer then you should really check that out. Okay, so today this is going to be a studio vlog type of thing. I just want to show you what I've been up to in my little studio, and I want to tell you what's coming in the next week. So I'm going to do a gift guide, definitely, and I'm going to try to divide it to more artists and then more crafters, and I will also do a series of my favorite products, mostly focusing on watercolors and art journaling. So all that I'm hoping will be coming in the next month, maybe a bit into December, because I know it's the holiday season and I know a lot of you, as I try to do myself, we want to kind of get ahead of the whole present thing. So I'm going to do that. For me, mostly the difference between like a gift guide and my favorite products is that things that I would recommend as a gift have, besides being good products, which is of course that's a given with all my recommendations according to my own experience and opinion, of course, but a gift should have, at least for me, some sort of extra something. So it could be like really pretty packaging, or something that you wouldn't buy yourself but you would totally want to get as a present, or if you're generous, buy someone else. But yeah, so that's to me kind of the difference between the two. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. You can find all the links to stuff I'm talking about below. I would really appreciate if you decide to purchase things that I recommend, if you could use my affiliate links. That really helps me out. Of course, you're under no obligation to do so, so feel free to choose whatever you want. And let's get into what's going on here. Okay, so first I'll talk just a little bit about this palette. I mentioned it in previous videos. I have been using it now exclusively pretty much for my watercoloring for the last weeks, I guess, couple of weeks since I've gotten it. And I have to say I really like it. I think it has a good size. It's big enough but not too big, at least for my space. And if you're very tight on space, then this is probably too big for you. It is, what, 13 inches, so 30 and a little bit centimeters. This is a 30 centimeters ruler, so a little bit more than that, and then 22, 24, something like that, with the edges across. I think the wells could probably be a teeny tiny bit bigger for the way that I'm using it, and I'll just explain to you quickly how I'm using this. And for the time being, I think this is working well for me. So if you're familiar with Jean Haynes, I mean, hopefully you are. She's a wonderful watercolor artist, and she has like this really kind of simple palette, I would say, nothing that seems too fancy. And she has these huge wells where she just squeezes like whole tubes of paint into them, and it seems like she just has, you know, like a well for yellows, a well for pinks, and that sort of thing, and she just keeps going with whatever color she's into. And that really, really works for me, because I don't want a fixed palette that is filled to the brim with, you know, one color in each well. That's not the way I paint. I love to use a variety of colors. Color is like one of the big things in my paintings, and every time I feel like a different combo, and I don't want to be limited to just 17 colors. So I know 17 is like a lot for some, but that's how I paint. I have lots of beautiful watercolors, so why shouldn't I use them? So the way that I'm doing this here, for example, this is a good example. This is my yellows well, and it just has a few blobs of the yellow paints that I'm currently using. So this is just a mixture. I will leave in the information box a list of what is currently on my palette if you're interested. So don't worry if you want to know the color and it's not here, and I don't say it. So what's in my art journal? I've been taking an online class. I talked about it. It's called Watercolor Mastery. It's by Angela Fehr. She's the teacher. And unfortunately, it's closed for registration right now because it is a live class. And it will open again sometime next year if you're into that. If you're interested in other courses, I have an affiliate link in the description box. She has some fantastic self-paced courses that you can take, but I'm just taking that one right now, so I'm doing a lot of the exercises there. So I'm gonna show you a few things. Okay, I showed you in my little sketchbook, I was playing with trying to get some blues for this photo, like which blues I want to paint it with. The problem is this is a photo taken by a friend of mine, and I want to give her a present for her new apartment. So I'm trying to paint it in a way that will also fit her aesthetic. And I was testing out blues, and I don't know, nothing was really working for me. And then I thought, okay, maybe I should just try and do my own thing. So I painted a couple of other versions, just playing with color. It's been really fun, I have to say. So I'll just show you. This was working with a triad, like what are they called? Primary triad. I had a yellow, a pink, and a blue, and I think everything I made with that. So just playing around, keeping it very almost abstract, I would say. Then I tried a few darker blues, kind of going for a more neutral violet theme. Then I decided, okay, why not go more rainbow, because that's what I'm all about. So I was playing around with this little pad. This is by Prima. It's a 6x6 paper pad of watercolor paper. It's not bad, the watercolor. It's really nice. The way the watercolor moves and blends on it is quite nice, I have to say. So I was playing around with even brighter colors, and then I decided to go even lighter and brighter. And I have to say, something about this is really speaking to me. So we'll see how that goes. This was based on a tutorial from Jean Haynes. She's a wonderful watercolor artist, and I was watching this on the Artist Network, Artists Network TV, which is a huge resource for art lessons, tutorials, and you can subscribe for $19 a month, and you get access to hundreds of videos. I've seen already in my last round, subscribing to them last year, I think. I subscribed for a few months and then I stopped, and now I resubscribed, and they have since then put up some new videos, including I think 3 or 4 new videos from Jean Haynes. So this is one of the new ones. I guess it's kind of revisiting subjects that she's done before, but she has some really fun exercises, and just watching her play with watercolors is magical. So this was based on one of the exercises that she was doing. And then this was kind of my own thing. I used a reference photo of a leaf, a photo I took outside in my garden, and then I started this with actually a palette knife and some paint, which and watercolor paint, like straight from the tube, which is something I rarely do. And this was based on an exercise in Angela's class. So I really like how this turned out. I think I might take it out of the journal and frame it. And the one thing that I feel like I could do is add a few of these violets, maybe here, just a touch, kind of to bring some more cohesive to this, because I feel like here is like a lot of warm colors, and then here's all the violet, and there is a bit of violet here, which really brings it together. But I feel like this is kind of the focal point. It's where your eye goes, and I think it could use just a touch of violet, so I might do that. Otherwise, I'm really happy with it. The movement, just like the small details, like this brush stroke, just makes me happy. So here I was just playing with paint and colors and autumn colors. Okay, so this is where things get a bit more studious. We were working in the class on value studies, so I did a quick value study of this photo that's here. This is very representative of the mess that is my mind. So all these are like little sketches, and then everywhere around them I have color swatches, because I'm a little bit obsessed with that, I'm aware. And then I also did the reference photo that we were using this week in the class is this gorgeous photo that Angela provided. I don't know if she took it herself, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful photo, and I have wrestled with this. I usually tend to move from one subject to the next. I don't paint the same thing over and over again, but this was kind of a challenge. I really enjoyed it. The shape of these flowers is quite complicated. I feel it's a challenge to get them to look dimensional and not kind of flat and weird. Just because they are so dimensional. You have like these leaves that are, you know, kind of standing like this, and then the other ones. It's a challenge, definitely, for me. And so this is the value study that I did, kind of a lazy, fast version of it. And then I just started playing. So you can see, I'll show you kind of from the start, the evolution of this. I started here with, you know, the colors that I was playing around here. And then I decided, no, the feel of this photo, you don't have to, of course, paint the photos as they are. You can use whatever colors you want, but I actually liked the cooler color scheme here, the violets, the blue violets, and then that pop of yellow. You know, yellow and purple or violet are complementary colors, so they really make each other pop. And while I like the colors in these, I really preferred the other versions as I was painting again and again, really not paying too much attention to the details of the flowers, more to the general composition and value, so light and dark. I was also testing out different colors. So you can see here there's still a little bit of like blue and a touch of turquoise maybe, or that's, I think, is just yellow mixing with the blue. But then I started to go deeper and deeper into the purples. So violet and blue violet, really keeping it more, I guess, more of a limited color palette, and also trying to add a little bit of details. And the other thing that I was struggling with is my yellow. I am using, I'm using mostly the Nickle Azo yellow from Daniel Smith. I have a little tube of it, and I'll probably pick up a larger tube. If you're familiar, I think the Quinacridone gold is like the super popular, famous color. So in comparison, the Nickel Azo Yellow is a bit more yellowy, not so, it's a little less orangey than the Quinacridone Gold, and it's also a transparent color, and it's just beautiful. But the thing with it is that it really flows, like whooshes around, and while I usually like that effect about it, in this particular painting I really didn't so much like how it was flowing into my purples. So I'm thinking I might either switch to a different yellow or add the yellow when all the violets are dry or almost dry, just to keep that under control. So that was one of my struggles. And then, so I made these, and then you can see the next session were these, and boom. And I'm really liking where the color scheme is going. So you can see it's getting more and more purple, and also the background I think is getting a little bit deeper and more purpley side. I don't know, now that I'm looking at it, I think I really like the colors here, and I think this one had a touch of indigo in the darks. So yeah, and another challenge that I have with this particular painting is to if I paint first the flowers and then the background like I did here, it looks very disconnected to me, and I'm sure there are ways to work around it, like let the color bleed a little bit into the flowers, but then I feel like I have the risk of losing some of the light. So I'm thinking maybe I need to do something more like this, or here. This is a kind of a first stage of painting some of the flowers and the background together in a first wash, so that they look more like they belong to the same scene and not just like pasted on. Like these flowers to me look pasted on. And of course I didn't add details. I think here this one has a little bit more detail. I think it's done here in like 2 layers. So there are a lot of things to think about in this particular sketch. I don't tend to spend so much time on one painting, one subject, but I am enjoying this. So as long as I enjoy it, I keep doing it, and then when I'm sick of it, I'll just move on to something different. But now I have like fresh eyes. I did all these like 2 days ago, I think, and I think this one is really speaking to me. Just the colors here, yeah, I'm really loving it. So that's what's going on here. This week I'll probably continue to play with some value studies. I also have this photo that I took. This is from my garden, and this is of course the black and white version, and then this is the original photo. So I'm thinking maybe doing something with this. I don't know, we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting, and keep your eyes open for those gift guides. They are coming. Thanks for watching. Bye.